Good morning, Zoo here. Today, we're talking Square Enix, so grab yourself some coffee, sit back, relax, and let's get into it, shall we? Well, I had to make sure I could figure out how to do this because it's been a hot second since I've sat here and done it this way. But yeah, I think Square Enix is ready to return to form. I guess is the best way to put it. Because Square has not been doing so hot. They've been chasing the whole Western developer thing, and the whole DEI thing has been kind of intermixed in there. And we've talked about this bits and pieces over on the podcast, but hmm, gotta have some coffee first thing in the morning because it is early. Anyway, apparently Square Enix has laid off a lot of people recently. About a month or so ago, they have laid off primarily the American and European offices. And I wonder why. They have not been doing so hot. I mean, apparently I forgot to bring this back up, but Square Enix announces that it tanked 114 million in losses due to content abandonment through, though there's no clue as to what's been dropped and where. Well, absolutely everything. If you haven't noticed, Square hasn't done a whole lot, right? Square tries to... it's tried to milk the Final Fantasy franchise quite a bit. They lost, pretty sure they had access to Tomb Raider at one point, and they lost that. Yeah, so there's been things. You haven't really heard of Blue Dragon in a while. I think that was one of their properties, right? But yeah, I mean, Kingdom Hearts hasn't done a whole lot that I can think of in recent years. I think really what they got going for them right now is Final Fantasy 14, which is a good game, by the way. But yeah, they've not been doing a whole lot lately. That has been really great in any kind of fashion at all. Final Fantasy 16 came out. I heard that was pretty decent. Of course, Final Fantasy hasn't been my jam in a hot minute because I've never been I've never been one for the I don't like the action battle system that they have decided to pivot to because, modern times means modern game modes and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I prefer turn-based, which is why I was such a fan of things like Baldur's Gate 3 when it came out. But yeah, I've not been a fan of the whole action combat type of RPG at all. Kingdom Hearts, I enjoyed Kingdom Hearts, hated the fighting, but I did enjoy Kingdom Hearts, and I stuck through it for the fighting for a bit, but, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts in a hot minute now, and I'm not looking forward to playing it anytime either, so there's that. Mm. But I think in combination of trying to appeal to a broader audience and stuff of that nature, utilizing that kind of stuff, Square has kind of lost its way. It's lost its way in a hot minute. Oh, let's see. Dragon's Quest. Anyway, I'm bad at this morning. Yeah. But anyway, so as a result, they have decided to diversify. We did recently talk about that, going towards Steam and other things. Apparently, Final Fantasy is set to arrive now on the Switch and the Xbox, because that has also been one of their problems, is they have been kind of PlayStation exclusive. And like we have talked about several times at this point, that Sony's not doing so hot in the gaming market. Sony's doing okay overall due to the fact that it has such a large repertoire of things to draw from. But as for Sony and the gaming market, it has been dominated by the Xbox. As much as Sony ponies really want to not believe that, it has been. Things like PC and Xbox has been dunking on PlayStation now for years at this point. And it's mainly because, Microsoft does have that PC portion. Now, as for using something like the Microsoft Store, it sucks ass. Not gonna lie. I would rather pick it up on Steam. But, PC does have Steam and Epic. So, if it's available on the Microsoft Store, half the time it also is available on Epic and Steam as well. Ugh. Which means, you have your choices there. But yeah, Square, on the other hand, has not been doing that sort of thing. Sure, you can find some of the older Final Fantasies on there, their remakes and stuff. And, they're not exactly priced properly, if you ask me. But yeah, they wait for about a year before they show up, like Final Fantasy Rebirth, Final Fantasy Remake, things like that. It's taking them a year to actually come over to the PC, and I do believe that when they saw the uptick from Remake when it released on the PC, that it probably would have done better if they had released it simultaneously. So... And on top of that, a lot of people have noticed that the PC side of things sells a lot better, especially when it comes to, say, like the Helldivers thing, right? We saw that definitely in full force when Helldivers 2 dropped. The PC numbers definitely outweighed the PlayStation numbers, and the only thing that kept that game going for so long was the PC fan base until Sony came through and decided, hey, we need y'all to sign in for PSN so we can bump up those numbers for our quarterly end of year or end of quarter whatever bullshit. And then the player base, took a nosedive down. And I'm sure Square over here was looking at that going, we may have underestimated the PC market. So them announcing later, recently, that they are now moving into out of the realm of exclusivity is honestly a good plan for Square. And it might be the best plan that Square could probably go, and I hope other companies follow suit, including Sony themselves. Realize that they're not the big fish in the water anymore. They can't throw things around like they used to. But what is also pretty interesting is this right here. I want to... this looks like this is going to be pretty nice. This is Fantasian Neo Dimensions. I recently saw it. Apparently, I guess it came out for iOS or something. At some point, I don't know. But now it's slated to release... on Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 5, PS4, because apparently we're still doing PS4, Xbox Series X, and Steam this winter. And they bring back Sakaguchi, by the way, to do this. And if you don't know who Sakaguchi is, he is essentially like the father of Final Fantasy. After he stopped doing Final Fantasy, with the exception of like 14, Final Fantasy has been on a steady decline ever since him leaving and stuff and not working on those kinds of projects anymore. But this is more of an older style RPG, it looks like, and you can definitely tell there's a lot of things coming out of the Final Fantasy series just looking at this short little trailer. Looks like something you would see from Final Fantasy, like that ship, definitely. But which summon was that? Bismarck? I can't think of what it was, but I could have swore I just saw like a lunar well looking thing somewhere in here that reminds me of Bismarck. I think is what it was, the summon. Let's see, where was it? I don't know, I wasn't really paying attention, but yeah, right there. Yeah. See, it feels like old Final Fantasy coming back, but wrapped in a nice new wrapper, and you know, it looks updated for the modern era. Although I am curious to know what kind of battle system they're going to use in this, because like I said earlier, I'm not a fan of the active battle system, which means I haven't played any new RPGs, a good chunk of them, in a long time as a result, because I'm just never been a fan of that active battle system. I prefer the old turn-based battles. But yeah, anyway, with any luck, this means Square Enix is back on track to making money, because it seems like they are wanting to do now money generation things. You know, what the fans want versus money generation of what they think the fans want, and maybe they're finally listening. I mean, when you got that, and you got combinations of like Capcom survey that's showing you what you're looking, what players are looking for, and other things. If you haven't checked that out, you should go check that one out. We did that last week, where we took a look at the survey that Western devs do not want you to see, because it kind of flies in the face of everything they've been telling us. Like 50% of all gamers are women, and everybody wants all this diversity and inclusion bullshit, and they want realistic characters of a 40-year-old woman in this 20-year-old whatever. And yeah, anyway, go check that out if you want to go see that. But yeah, that's all I got. So let me know what you think down in the comments below, and I will talk to you later. See ya.